Hello and welcome back to Bookish Brits. My name is Michelle and I thought that for today's video I might do kind of a quickish video discussing my rating system. Now this is something that I've seen talked about before in the book blogging and booktubing communities, and I always find it incredibly interesting to see how differently people use the same sort of system, rating systems in different ways. So for the most part I'll be talking about a 5-star rating system, what each of the stars means to me, and also where I use it. Let's start with where I use it. I am a huge user of Goodreads. I probably couldn't live without it at this point. And every time I read a book, finish it, I will definitely leave a rating. I also use the rating system at Amazon when I cross-post my reviews there at the end or beginning of every month. So that's where I use the rating system. I don't use a rating system on my blog, though sometimes in my booktube videos I will mention how many stars I rated it on Goodreads. Sometimes, but not always. I'm very inconsistent like that. 1 star on Goodreads means that I hated a book and I did not finish it for whatever reason. Now for one star ratings on Goodreads, this does not mean any book that I've picked up and didn't enjoy and put down. There are hundreds of books that I've picked up, started reading it and I found that it was a little bit slow. I didn't really like the characters, but I gave up pretty quickly. Those books don't get a rating at all. The 1-star Goodreads ratings for me means that I've started it, I've gotten a significant portion of the way through it, at least 25–35%, and I hated it for particular reasons. It isn't just the general tone of the book or the characters just didn't grab me. It grabbed me, but in a negative way, and there was no way that I would ever finish this book. 2-star rating on Goodreads means that I really didn't like it, but for whatever reason I've probably finished it. So for these books, I always feel like I held out hope throughout reading this book that things would get better, but it never occurred. Just the fact that I finished a book will sometimes help it onto that next star rating, even if I really didn't like it, because there was something about it that had me continuing to read it, even though there were definitely aspects of the book that I didn't like. A lot of new adult books that I've read over the years have fallen under this 2-star rating because I didn't like them. I didn't agree with anything that happened. I didn't really particularly like the characters, the relationship, but something about the writing style kept me going, hoping that something would improve by the end of the book, and then it didn't. 3-star reads on Goodreads for me meant that I liked it okay. I finished all of the 3-star reads. I should have mentioned this earlier, but how I feel when I'm reading is definitely the key aspect to my rating and my enjoyment of different books. So for 3-star reads, generally there is a lack of emotion. So I liked everything okay, but nothing about the characters or the story, the setting or anything kind of tipped it over into being something that I really enjoyed. So there's nothing wrong with the 3-star read, it just didn't grab me emotionally, and for me that is what's most important. So there's definitely books in my 3-star reads that I could see the potential of, but just something more needed to happen for it to be at a higher rating. 4-star reads on Goodreads is the biggest category for me. 4-star reads means I really liked it. I feel like the 4-star reads is such a broad category. So there are a lot of like lower 4 books, or like there are a lot of lower 4-star books, sort of the 3.5 star, if you will. If Goodreads would ever do 1/2-star ratings, then I think that it would ease a lot of the pressure off the 4-star reads, because there are quite a few in my 4-star ratings that that only just tip over the 3-star rating just a little bit. Maybe there's just that one thing that I really liked about that book and it will tip it over into a 4-star read. 4-star reads, just generally speaking, there was something I didn't have many complaints about the book. I really liked the setting, I really liked the characters, or this relationship, or the story, or just something about it that connected to me on an emotional level, but didn't hit me enough in the feels to make it a 5-star read. So 4-star, by far my biggest category of ratings on Goodreads. 5-star rating on Goodreads means that it was something special to me. Something about this book has really moved me on an emotional level. Sometimes it means that I cried, but not always, because I cried a lot of books, but that doesn't mean that every book that I read in which I cry will be a 5-star rating, though it does help. I don't feel like it's that often that I rate books 5 stars on Goodreads. A lot of, even some of my favourite books of the year in the past have normally come in with a 4-star rating, so I feel like I'm quite stingy with my 5-star reads, but when I do come across them, I will give all the stars out freely to the right book. So that's it from me today, a quick run through of my ratings system on Goodreads. I'd love to hear how your rating styles work. Is it the same as mine? Is it different? Do let me know, either in comments or on Twitter, and I will see you again next time. Thank you so much for watching.